easy to understand why this would be frustrating to pedestrians. The equipment is in place, but they've got plastic bags over it, so people can't use it. Meantime, his challenger in the race, Dan McCready, put out a video earlier today. There were power lines down Rayford Road right now, a big section of it from Woodcroft to really to Bragg Boulevard is without power. You can see that the wind gusts are really picking up. At this point, it's getting harder to stand out here. This is the tap water coming out of their faucet. You can see it looks more like iced tea than tap water. Police say the woman was on a cigarette break and had made it all the way back to her car. She was sitting inside when they say she was stabbed multiple times. The water continues to rise here in Spring Lake. We have made our way onto a large vehicle by the Spring Lake Fire Department, getting a chance to see firsthand the damage that the Little River flooding is doing. Look at this. This is the Starlight Motel. If you know Spring Lake, look at it. The water is literally washing this motel away. The river is actually over in that area, and this whole intersection is now flooded. I just checked in with the sheriff. He tells me the search for Lynn Keel continues tonight. This is a copy of the arrest warrant for first-degree murder that is out for him. Authorities urging anyone within a 100-mile radius of Nash County to keep an eye out. Diana Keel had many titles. She was a mother of two, a wife, sister, and friend. For the last few years, she worked as an emergency room nurse at Wilson Medical Center.
Never had a bad thing to say about anybody. Would always try and help someone out if they needed it.
I spoke to Taryn Edwards earlier this week. She called Diana a good friend. She says she helped her learn to drive and get her nursing degree. They met after Diana married Lynn. The couple met in Columbia, where Diana is from, and moved to Nash County.
When she made the decision the first time that she wanted to try and leave, I was helping her with that.
Edwards says when Lynn found out, he no longer allowed them to speak. That was back in 2017. So when Diana went missing a week ago, Edwards thought the worst.
That he finally hurt her. That the fears that I had had, he finally succeeded.
Investigators say Diana's 18-year-old daughter and co-workers reported her missing. Her body found 4 days later by a DOT worker in a wooded area in Tarboro. From the beginning, the sheriff called Lynn a person of interest, but it wasn't until this evening that we learned he'd be charged with first-degree murder.
Lynn is kind of quiet and to himself.
Investigators confirmed Diana was his second wife. His first wife, Bess, died in 2006. It happened at the same home where Diana lived. The medical examiner ruled it an accident, saying she hit her head after falling down the front steps. Now, we wanted you to take a good look at this photo of the pickup truck investigators say Lynn is likely driving. It's described as a 1998 Chevy pickup truck in pewter or gold. The license plate number BBM 9232. Again, BBM 9232. For another look at that license plate number, you can head over to our website, CBS17.com. Meantime, Diana's family, her mother and brother are still making arrangements, planning to arrive in Nash County Sunday. No word yet on funeral arrangements. Live in Nashville, Amy Cutler, CBS 17.
It was a lot worse.
Sandra Delgado showed me the bruises and scratches on her hands and arms. The pregnant mother tells me they're the result of a fight with another mother.
She grabbed me by my neck, and I kind of moved back, so she got my shirt.
It started over on Tuscan Ridge Way by 42. Delgado says she doesn't remember cutting anyone off, but the suspect, Tony Brannon, tells a different story.
I'm assuming she's going to go right. Instead, I get ready to go, and she goes.
It happened Tuesday afternoon. Brannon says Delgado nearly caused an accident.
At that point, I probably didn't make the best decision, and I did follow her.
When I noticed her following so close, she flicked me the bird. And so I'm like, I'm just going to let this go. I'm late to pick up my little girl.
Investigators confirm Brannon followed Delgado to East Clayton Elementary School. Brannon admits her kids were in the car.
And she just jumps out, and she's like, she's going crazy.
I said, why in the world would you do that? You took a chance of hurting a lot of people.
I'm explaining to her, if I did cut you off, then I apologize.
When I approached her, I went like this. She grabs, she throws me down. I hit the back of my head.
They say school administrators pulled them apart and called police. Brannon tells me she left the scene.
I truly believe that I've been charged with assault because I was not there to tell my side of the story.
Brannon says she had a black eye, that her chest, neck, and head are bruised.
If you could say something to her at this point, what would it be?
Get some anger management classes.
Brannon has been charged with assault and disorderly conduct. She tells me she has hired an attorney and is optimistic the charges will be dismissed. In Clayton, Amy Cutler, CBS 17 News. It's easy to forget how high the water rose in the aftermath of Hurricane Florence. This FEMA tag on the building serves as a reminder. Despite the heartbreak and the loss, the church that sits here is rebuilding.
If we were standing here in the water, we'd be underwater completely.
I first introduced you to Pastor Floyd Benfield in the Presbyterian Church of the Covenant back in September.
This is what breaks your heart.
Floodwaters overturned the pews, broke windows, and destroyed Bibles. Then there was the smell. This is incredible.
Yeah.
It smells a lot better in here, right?
It does. Yeah, when they gutted it, all we had in here was just studs in the walls. This building was built in 1909 and never flooded.
Then Matthew in 2016, and 2 years later, Florence.
It's a small congregation. It's like family.
Dennis DeLong is a parishioner here. His company is also making the repairs. He says they would have been done by now, but his tools were stolen, not once, but twice from a trailer outside.
They knew what they were looking for when they got in there. They stole all the tools that were worth anything.
DeLong tells me he reported it to police. In all, he says he lost about $8,000. Still, they're pushing forward, hoping to restore the sanctuary to what it was.
I guess you could say joy would be the best thing.
Pastor Benfield also showed us the fellowship hall. They've been holding services here since December.
Even in all the destruction and all the expenses of restoration, we've gained. There is a togetherness in the fellowship. It's always been there, but it's deepened.
They hope to be back in the sanctuary by early April. Now, in order to fully rebuild, they still need to raise some money, and they have organized a couple of fundraisers to do that. For more information on those, you can just head to our app or website. In Spring Lake, Amy Cutler, CBS 17 News.